final topic we got is those possible expansion teams. We're going to put them in a tier list from S tier to F tier, the classic format. And Donata's first question, are we surely getting 2 more teams in the EuroLeague? Are we going to have a 20-team EuroLeague in next season?
That's the plan. That's what the EuroLeague wants. That's what the majority of the teams wants. I'm not sure about the format of that new league with 20 teams, but the idea is clear. We just need to add 2 more teams, and then we're going to decide about the rest and all the details. So
okay, so we're gonna do 1 team each. You throw me a team, I'm
throwing teams. Okay. And we both put those teams on our personal list that might be related to our feelings about the way organization works, fan base.
Just whatever comes to mind. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So, to make it more spicy, let's start from one of the most unpopular teams in Europe that is actually not from Europe.
Okay.
BC Dubai.
Dubai. First thing that you think about is right away, traveling. So annoying that there would be so much more traveling to the Middle East. You would think about the fact that we already have one Israeli team and now they're not playing in Israel, of course. But generally speaking, it's not Europe again, like you said. It's EuroLeague with the Dubai team is something that I don't want to see. And for me, the biggest reason I really don't want to see BC Dubai is lack of history, lack of a fan base, just the artificial flavor this team brings with its name. It's just been created out of thin air just last year or this year. This year. This
is their inaugural season.
And I would put them at C tier only because I still think with the money that they might have, they haven't done it this year, but because they were only playing EuroLeague. But if they had an opportunity to play in the EuroLeague, I think they would really throw some money at the players and get a pretty good roster. So if you have a crazy roster, it's kind of, you want to see those players in the EuroLeague. Okay, so where are you putting them?
I'm thinking about B. From what I heard, for sure they're gonna invest more to their team. Currently, they're 4th in EuroLeague, and if they enter the EuroLeague, for sure they're gonna invest more. And I heard that they're already trying to target some of the prominent EuroLeague names that we have currently. So for sure they're gonna be good based on their level.
So B, okay.
I'm
CB.
I'm checking their attendance numbers. For instance, they had their season opener game against Red Star at home in Coca-Cola Arena. They had 4,600 people watching the game. They haven't played against Partizan yet, but you can probably expect the same. I checked, the pictures of the arena. It looks cool, but usually it's only the first level, first floor of the arena. So it kind of reminds me BC Wolves that we have in Lithuania. For sure, it's not a sexy club to follow from this passion standpoint, but again, everyone is going to be different. That's for sure. I'm not the biggest ambassador of the project, but I see why it's coming. The only thing, not the only thing. One of the main things what I wouldn't like, that Dubai would go to the EuroLeague directly without even going through the Eurocup competition. And I think it makes difference. You have to play 2 games per week, 2 high-level games per week at the domestic league and the European competitions such as the Eurocup. That's why it's so hard for the Spanish teams to be good in both competitions. I don't like those, discounts for those clubs. There are a lot of teams who tried to get this EuroLeague spot for years, trying to prove their worth in the Eurocup, and now suddenly you're just taking the team without a track record on a higher level and just in European basketball. I don't agree that's fair. And, to one or another level, I could agree with some of the points that you made. The problem for all Dubai haters, there are a lot of Dubai haters, and I'm not associating myself to any of those, nor lovers nor haters. The problem is that from what I heard, Dubai is one of the most likely teams to be involved in the EuroLeague next season. They're one of their main targets that they have, and that's based on their next season projection in terms of financing the team and also the feedback the EuroLeague is getting. The project is running smoothly. Everything is fine. The team is building well. Players are really happy. It feels like the front office is doing a good job. Everything feels okay. So that's what makes them in, I would say, close to the pole position to get into the EuroLeague. So...
Okay, so what are the other teams? We're going to get really stuck if we talk about every team so extensively. What other teams?
Tel Aviv.
Hapoel Tel Aviv. Okay, you're still going spicy. You're not turning it down. I thought after
but
some
they have history.
Spicy wing, you're going to give me something.
It's spicy, but it's different.
It's different spicy. Number one, the situation, the geopolitical situation and the wars going on in that area. We're talking about another team that potentially would play in an empty gym if they don't decide otherwise. But at the moment, it seemed like from that last poll that the team owners had, that some teams just said drastically, like Panathinaikos, we're not going to play in Israel, and you can't say anything to us about it this season. But even next season, I don't think that's going to change really fast. And I wouldn't like another Israeli team again for the same reasons that it's not Europe. Okay, they have a history, like you said. They are a team that's been there for a while. They've been playing in the Euro Cup, and obviously the main attraction with that team is their owner's ambitions. Let's say they have a very ambitious owner who, first of all, got the top tier EuroLeague coach in Dimitris Itoudis this season, mid-season signing. Then they had Patrick Beverley until he got out of the team, and they have a bunch of high-level EuroLeague level players in addition to that. So imagining they would come to the EuroLeague, I would say they would only increase the level of talent with the money that they're spending right now. And for that reason, I put them in B tier because I just think if they have a crazy roster, I couldn't see them lower than B tier.
Yeah.
But the biggest reason for me is still they're in Israel. Israel, in Tel Aviv rather. You're just gonna play in an empty gym then.
That's the main problem. Although the Israeli side, they're declaring that the situation is getting better significantly, and they even wanted to explore the potential to play in the EuroLeague or the Euro Cup in Israel this season already. Other teams are not convinced yet, and you have to improve your political situation drastically, and you have to convince those teams in basically 2 months because they have to confirm the teams for the next season in July. So, and the argument that, hey, maybe in July it's not yet sorted out, but in 1 month and 2 it's gonna be okay. It's not going to work because, first of all, EuroLeague and probably the others, they wouldn't stand playing in Belgrade or Bulgaria or whatever for 2 games per season. I mean, it's already. I mean, it's really hard to watch games in this empty gym. So you cannot afford yourself to put yourself in this situation, or like Efes and Fenerbahce having to relocate their home games to host Maccabi and potentially Tel Aviv Hapoel. So that's the main thing why I cannot put them in the S tier. But if I put Dubai at B, it wouldn't be fair to put Hapoel at the same tier because they have history, they have fans culture.
Is the same situation. You're just putting A and B with Dubai at B and Hapoel at A. Okay, what's the next team? We really got to pick up the tempo.
Yeah, Paris basketball.
Paris basketball.
They play on the Euro Cup winners license, and they would stay in the EuroLeague if they make the playoffs. At least make the playoffs. You have to make the playoffs, and you're either higher seeded than Monaco if you get eliminated from the quarterfinal stage from the playoffs, or you advance to the Final Four and Monaco doesn't. If Monaco ends up at a higher seed.
Still to do with Monaco?
Yeah, because Monaco is still in the EuroLeague playing on the Euro Cup winners license because every year they kind of clinch that license by making the playoffs.
That's so unfortunate because I would like both of these teams to be in, and I feel like Monaco has showed us and earned.
But it's just theoretically. The thing is that EuroLeague wants Paris basketball in the EuroLeague.
Right.
So even if, let's say, Paris finish lower than Monaco or not make the playoffs, EuroLeague still wants to have them. And for sure, they would grant them 1-year wildcard or the multi-year license.
Yeah, the reason I would put them in A tier is because they're interesting, they're unique, they have one of these promising young coaches in Thiago Splitter, whatever his name is, Tiago or Tiago.
You could have checked that
I could
for
have,
weeks.
Then also, obviously, they're overperforming this season. And there's a reason I didn't put them in at S tier. And the only reason is because currently when they are overperforming and potentially underpaying the players that they have, or the players that they have right now will get better money next season, they might lose those main core guys in TJ Shorts, in Nadir Hifi, in
He might
Tyson
stay.
Ward.
He's under the contract, but I see what you're saying.
If they lose at least two of those players, or even one of those players, and the core kind of is not there anymore, it's hard to think who's going to replace, those guys, because this was sort of a gold mine. You got these players from Bonn to Paris, played in the Euro Cup, won the Euro Cup. Now you're here, but once the EuroLeague teams have seen that these players can actually perform as good in this level, they're definitely going to target them in the free agency. And I feel like for that reason, I can't put Paris basketball at S tier for next season.
Yeah, I love Paris vibes. I love this Cinderella story. I'm happy for them. EuroLeague needs to be in the main markets such as Paris, Berlin, London, Madrid, whatever. But that's the main thing that I have. TJ Shorts leaves. It's a huge deal breaker. Few other guys are leaving. They have the second lowest budget in the EuroLeague. Who knows? Who can assure me that they're not going to end up at Maccabi, Virtus, or even Alba Berlin numbers next year? And what if they gonna not, let's say, find a new formula how to win those games and to be competitive? I mean, I don't know. It's a risky thing. Although they should be encouraged and get some credit for things they've done and promising future that they could still have. And I have at my A tier.
Okay.
But
we finally agreed.
A lot of question marks.
Who's next?
Unicaja Malaga, the ambassador of the BCL.
That's the thing. BCL, how flexible?
It's probably a very hypothetical chance for them to play in the EuroLeague. I'm not sure if they would actually like to play in the EuroLeague. They're good they feel good about being BCL's ambassadors. Just in case EuroLeague has a chance, has one spot, and they say, hey, what if Malaga comes in?
I mean, for me, it would be great because it's synonymous. Unicaja Malaga and EuroLeague, two things that has been a part of my childhood, let's say.
Yeah.
They played in the EuroLeague, if I remember correctly, I checked from like 2002, and the last season they played in the EuroLeague was 2017-18. And then from there, they started playing the Euro Cup, and then they switched to BCL. So they haven't been in the EuroLeague for almost 8 years now. Well, 8 years, yeah, exactly, 8 years. And for me, it's the vibe of Malaga. They have those trumpets. They got a culture. The fan base is great. The team itself this season is amazing. Like I said, the last time I think I called them the best team outside of the EuroLeague, maybe a bit of a stretch, but that was based on their ACB results. They're second in the ACB, just one win behind Real Madrid, so that's something that that's where that argument came from. I would say that definitely a top 3 team outside of the EuroLeague. But yeah, of course, we're talking about a BCL team, so that's something that's a big issue in the way. I'd put them at A tier because I would love them to come back.
Yeah. A tier to me as well. The main problem for them would be, trying to survive this crazy schedule. Now they're in a comfort situation of playing in the BCL every 2 weeks and in the ACB. They're really good and they deserve all the praise. I love their team. I love the team basketball, Malaga vibes, the culture, the history. They have everything. It's a full package. And every time they were in the EuroLeague, they were always this quarterfinal top 16 team, and that's where I would see them. Let's say if you put Malaga to the EuroLeague right now and they have to play 2 games or sometimes 3 games every week, I would say they would be a playing contender. I'm not sure how they would survive this calendar with the current talent that they have. So some might see it as I'm, offending Malaga, but I'm just being realistic. This calendar is
We offended them enough when Augustus called his video when an average European team
but
beat
they
a
don't
G-League
understand
team.
that it's in the eyes of the regular American basketball fan. So we're not underestimating their culture and stuff. We already said a lot of good words about them in this episode. So
okay, who's next?
Shout out to Malaga. Alba Berlin.
Alba Berlin.
They don't have a multi-year license.
I would
They've been EuroLeague members for a while.
politely give them F tier and shut the fuck up. I wouldn't say much more. I'm sorry, but Alba Berlin has had no direction for the last however many years, or maybe for forever. They've been developing young guys, which is okay. But in terms of competitiveness, in terms of what they add to the EuroLeague as a product, I don't see anything besides that they're in Berlin, which is a big market in EuroLeague's eyes. It's nice to have a team in the German capital. Is it the capital? It is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only reason they're there. And I don't see anything good about Alba Berlin.
I like that they're sustainable. They're trying to be sustainable. The best thing that I see about Alba Berlin is that they have average attendance of 9,000 people coming to now it's Uber Arena to support their team, which has 4 wins in the EuroLeague. They also already had a worst record in the EuroLeague last season, and they also had quite similar attendance. So they have culture, they have support, they're sustainable. But I would give them the last chance. Please find sponsors to increase the budget by at least 1, 2, 3 millions. Make a rebuild. Try to be more competitive. And I mean, you have
Make
examples.
a rebuild in EuroLeague means just to get more money, guys.
Exactly. I mean, we have example of Paris basketball. I mean, there is a way to survive in this EuroLeague with a low budget, but please make some kind of a change. So, because again, it's Berlin.
Hey, with the please, you won't get anything. You need to punish them.
True.
Throw them into the Euro Cup. If you really want to get back, you earn your way back because you've been in this league.
You have to invite them to the EuroLeague office in Barcelona and then say, hey, get out of here. You're playing bad cards. You don't have good cards in this game.
With us, you have good cards, but without
please
us,
apologize and then make a change, okay?
No, Alba
Come back,
hasn't been
sign a minerals
thankful.
deal or whatever, and increase your budget, right?
Okay. So where are you putting them? Because I put them in F tier. So where are you putting them? D?
C.
C. Oh my God.
Just out of the respect and support for those young guys. Like Spaniolo, Procida, and stuff.
I'm not blaming any players.
And fans.
I'm blaming the management. Next, what do we have? It's gonna be the longest. Valencia, one of those rare teams I put in S tier because I can't imagine EuroLeague without Valencia 1 year, then them being in the Euro Cup and then the EuroLeague again. It's just something that I'm used to. I'm used to seeing Valencia every second year. And that's what I want to continue because they're a historical team as well. They've been in the EuroLeague and Euro Cup for years and years and years. They've always had some interesting names in their team. I remember one of the most notably probably Derek Williams. I remember when he played there. Even further back, you look, Nando De Colo, when he was really young, started there. If you look at what they have this year, they have EuroLeague players in Semi Ojale, Chris Jones, these guys that we've already seen in the EuroLeague perform well. So, and they're cooking in the Euro Cup. So for me, this is definitely an S tier team. They're 16-2 in the Euro Cup. They can actually just win the Euro Cup, and if they do so, they're in the league. That's what I want to see.
S tier for sure. I mean, that's the greatest injustice of EuroLeague basketball, that every year they have to prove themselves in the Euro Cup to win the Euro Cup just to go for the EuroLeague for another year. They should have the multi-year license. Good news for Valencia and those who also put Valencia to the S tier. They're basically probably in a pole position to get into the EuroLeague in case they don't win the Euro Cup. And there's a chance that they might actually sign a multi-year deal without the EuroLeague, nevertheless, if they win the Euro Cup or not. And they completely deserve it. And on top of your facts that you mentioned, they're going to play in the new arena. More than 15,000 people will be able to watch Valencia. Which means more revenues. I heard that they're about to increase their budget significantly as well to be even more competitive. And if we remember, they were always in the, let's say, around the top 10. With the play-in, the chance to make the top 10 would be even higher. Although I would love to see teams from different markets, from different regions. That would be a fourth Spanish team. It's already quite a lot to have 3 teams, but you just cannot rule them out just because of the geographical reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have almost EuroLeague roster on their team. They're averaging 95 points.
Some depth, because now
they have enough depth. They just need to add some anchor players to their team.
Okay.
And I mean, just add 2 superstar level players, and we're talking about a very serious team.
Any other teams that don't have a license that should be battling?
Virtus, actually. We don't include Serbian teams because they both work on those multi-year deals. We already praised their fan base enough. They have budget, so
it's likely that they're gonna.
From what I hear, the
there.
concept of this expansion to 20 teams is basically keeping the same teams that we have right now. Good news for Alba fans, and adding 2 more teams.
Okay.
I think that there's Valencia and Dubai at the pole position, but you know, it's a lot of game changers can happen. Hapoel Tel Aviv can win the Euro Cup. Any other team actually can win the Euro Cup. First of all, who knows how this war in Ukraine ends? What they're gonna do with the sanctions, and as soon as the situation is changing, now we have to think about Russian teams coming back to the EuroLeague. So a lot of factors can happen, but if all goes according to the plan or the current situation, same 18 teams plus Dubai, Valencia, maybe Hapoel.
So I don't know then if there is a big reason to discuss Virtus, but the only thing was that I saw was that they're concerned about their future. I think there was an article that they're not sure what they're really doing. They changed coaches.
They changed front office basically as well.
And they're not sure if they're even gonna survive as a club.
They're gonna survive. It just depends on if they're gonna survive at the EuroLeague level.
So are they not playing on Eurocup license then? Because they were.
I think they're playing on a wild card or 1-year license, something like that. I don't remember the specifics, but they're also non-licensed team. So if you have to decide, I mean.
For me, that team right now, as it is right now, just has no direction. The way it was built before the season, one of the worst offensive potentials of the whole EuroLeague, because offensively that team has just nothing. And in my eyes, they just don't have where to attack teams. They have Tornike Shengelia. That's all I can say about them. They have too many veteran players. They're an aging team, and they
need a rebuild.
They really need like a full reset of what they're doing, and hopefully, I mean, just because of historical reasons, I would still put them at B, because they're still that, we remember Kinder and all those teams, but just B. I wouldn't go above.
A to me. I like 2 Italian teams.
That's true.
You have to have more than Milan. History, fan base. They're also building a new arena, so they're gonna be fine. They might make more revenues. So there will be this front office change, so that might inspire a rebuild of the team, maybe at the direction that you mentioned. So I still see potential with Virtus. I like the history. It brings back a lot of good basketball-related memories. So they still deserve a spot in the EuroLeague for sure. So A to me.
That's it? We got Monaco, but that's a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, they proven themselves every season. They're good. They want to build a new arena. They have clear plans. They're already in negotiations to build that one. So they have Mike James.
There, no comment.
Yeah.
Okay.